Darnold back up, float one deep, has a man, Shaheed! He's got it!
He gets in there and relates to his offensive line. He's done a great job.
Third down here, over the middle, Cooper Kupp, it's in! Touchdown!
What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy Rick, man. It's LIB Media, man. I'm back again, and I just want to make a video real quick to say, man, shout out to Sam Darnold. And I think this actually is a really, really good thing for the NFL. Seattle beat the Rams last night to go to because now they're going to the Super Bowl, and they're playing the Patriots, which will probably be a good game because the Patriots are a real good team all around. But if Seattle can win, I think this will be a great thing for the NFL and good for people like Sam Darnold, who got written off early in his career, right? Because people was like, oh, he's just not that good, which clearly we see that that's not the truth. We need to, as a football community, put more pressure on these coaches and stuff, because it doesn't make that much sense that all these players can be these great of players in college and have these great college careers, and they get to the league and now all of a sudden they can't play football. I understand the players. Me personally, I get the players who are projects, like, oh, well, he wasn't a super dominant college player, right? And we just believe he can do something in the league. Well, if that fails, then that fails. But the players who put up really good stats in college, and then you watch their tape and you're like, this player looked pretty good. I remember when Sam Darnold came out, I remember the hype that he had when he was coming out. And it's like, oh, well, he get drafted by the Jets, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe this man can't play, and he just bounced around and he ends up on the Panthers, and he shows a little something. And then he's on the Vikings, right? And the Vikings look pretty good. And then people are like, oh, maybe it's just the defense. And Seattle also has a great defense, but they don't use that excuse for none of the better quarterbacks in the league. Nobody be running around saying, well, Tom Brady had a great defense his first 3 years, the first 3 Super Bowls he won. Nobody cares. Nobody says, well, Patrick Mahomes won that first Super Bowl really dynamically, but then the next 2 that he won, the defense was pretty dang good. Nobody really cares about those things, right? Is my point. And so I'm saying the reason why I think it's good for the league is that it shows that players just need some players just need some time to develop. They need some time. They need to get in a good system. They need to have good coaching. And these players can look way better than what people say. People be like, oh, you can't win the Super Bowl if this player is your quarterback or that player is your quarterback. And Sam Darnold is once again about to prove that that's not true. That has already not been true, because we've seen quarterbacks that won Super Bowls that people didn't think highly of, right? But either or, neither here or there, I think this is a really, really good thing for the league. Sam Darnold threw for 346 last night. He had 3 touchdowns, and he kept matching Matt Stafford, who, for y'all that have been on this channel, know I'm a big Matt Stafford fan, but he was matching Matt Stafford every time. Every time the Seattle needed to score, he was throwing great passes, controlling the game, making plays when they needed it, and put up 30 points on a pretty good Rams defense. And so he actually earned the Super Bowl. It wasn't like but with the Patriots and Denver, where the weather got bad and all that. It was no. Sam Darnold had to actually go out there and show, I can play quarterback, even though all these people have all these bad things to say about, oh, well, it might just be a fluke, or we don't know if he can do this consistently, X, Y, and Z. And I think this would be another moment for y'all, for everybody to kind of get on the boat. I've been on a lot of times where let's just hold these coaches accountable. Let's hold these scouts accountable. Let's not just say every player is just a bust immediately after 1 or 2 bad years getting drafted to a bad team and a bad organization where they don't develop anybody, and they're just claiming you're the bad player and now you're a backup for the majority of your career. Shout out to Geno Smith when Geno was able to resurrect his career for a while. I know he had a bad year this year with the Raiders, but he was able to resurrect his career with Seattle, because it shows that these players are good players for a reason. And we need to get coaches in there who are actually going to put these players in positions to succeed, right? And actually help these players grow. And then you realize that Sam Darnold, who hasn't even hit 30 years old yet, can still be a franchise quarterback for a team. And if he wins the Super Bowl, then nobody won't have nothing to say. Because they say, oh, well, you know what he did with the Vikings, and then look at how that season ended, right? Is what people want to say. But Sam Darnold has definitely resurrected his career. Sam Darnold, to me, being only 28 years old, has a lot of good football left. He got bounced around the league, right? But now has put together 2 4,000-yard passing seasons. 4,000 yards passing seasons, over 66% completion, and 14-3 as records when they didn't think he had anything left. So I think shout out to Sam Darnold. I think this is really, really good for the NFL. I think it's going to force teams to actually keep some of their players in-house and be like, hold on, these players are pretty good. Why are we just getting rid of these players just to be getting rid of people? Right? We're not actually developing these players. So I think that's a bigger conversation that needs to be had around the NFL. But with that being said, man, that's my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know who y'all got winning the Super Bowl. This your boy Rick, man. It's LIB Media, and I'm signing out. Peace.